I'm Alex from Android Central, and this is our roundup of everything Google just announced at its Launch Night In event. There's a lot to get to, so take a sec to make sure you're subscribed and we'll jump right in. First up, we've got new Pixels, the Pixel 4a 5G and Pixel 5. The Pixel 4a 5G is kind of the base model 5G Pixel, powered by the Snapdragon 765G, with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, and with a 6.2-inch Full HD Plus display at 60Hz. There's a 3800mAh battery, plastic body, and 18W quick charging, but no wireless charging support. And around the back there's Google's first ultra-wide pixel camera, alongside that 12MP main shooter. There's a single front-facing camera in a hole punch in the top left corner at 8MP. The Pixel 4a 5G is the larger of the two Google phones, but it's not really a huge handset in the grand scheme of things. Like I said, this really is your basic base model 5G Pixel. So that being the case, the Pixel 5 is the more premium version, smaller with a 6-inch screen diagonal, slimmer uniform bezels, 90Hz screen, and a new metal unibody made from recycled aluminium. Despite this, Google's figured out how to include Qi wireless charging in this phone, up to 15W to charge the phone and 5W for reverse wireless charging. In addition to being more compact, the Pixel 5 also boasts a bigger battery, a 4000mAh cell, which is the largest in any Pixel to date. Google's new dual camera setup comes with some serious improvements to its HDR+ processing. HDR+ now includes exposure bracketing for improved exposure in challenging lighting conditions. The excellent night sight now works in portrait mode for better low light captures, and portrait lighting is improved too, with the ability to adjust lighting in portrait shots after the fact to avoid over or underexposure of your subject. You can even apply these new features to older photos from within Google Photos. Google's finally gotten a bit more serious about video too, with new 4K 60 video support and new cinematic pan features for smoother motion and a more dramatic look to your shots, which is achieved by slowing down the motion by up to half. Elsewhere, the Pixel UI has a new extreme battery saver mode that lets you select a handful of apps to keep active while everything else gets shut down in the background. Google says you can add up to 48 hours of battery life by using this feature. Meanwhile, the Google Assistant's phone calling capabilities have become smarter on these new Pixels, with the new Hold For Me feature taking the hassle out of being put on hold. Just tap Hold For Me, and your assistant will let you know when a human is actually around to take the call. No more listening to badly compressed music while you wait. Obviously, these two new phones are targeting more of a mid to high-end price point than any previous mainline Pixels, so not too much of a surprise to see the Pixel 4a 5G selling for $499 in the US and the Pixel 5 for $699. The Pixel 5 lands on October 15th and the 4a 5G from November 19th. Next up is the new Chromecast with Google TV, building on Google's basic streaming dongle with an interface built on top of Android TV. Not that you really know it from looking at the new Chromecast, it still pretty much looks like a Chromecast, only now it's in white instead of grey. Since we're dealing with a complex and more fully featured TV interface and not just a basic Chromecast target, the new Chromecast now comes with a remote, complete with dedicated buttons for YouTube, Netflix, and Google Assistant voice controls built in. And since it is Android TV under the hood, there's the possibility for running more apps and games, in addition to the movies and TV you can find through the Google interface. Speaking of which, discoverability of new content has been improved in Google TV, helped along by Google's Knowledge Graph, and you can also add shows to your Google TV watch list by Google search on the web and pick them up from Google TV later. The big compromise here though is that there'll be no Google Stadia support for this device until early 2021, so if you're using Stadia with a Chromecast Ultra right now, you might want to hold off before upgrading, or maybe just sideload it is Android after all. The Chromecast with Google TV sells for $50 and it's available to buy right now. Finally, we have a successor to the original Google Home smart speaker. The new Nest Audio looks kinda like a fabric-covered miniature loaf of bread, sits horizontally or vertically, and comes in 5 colours. We can expect significantly improved audio quality from the new Nest Audio compared to the old Google Home thanks to its larger drivers. What's really neat is if you have multiple Nest Audios, you'll be able to move your music between rooms using just your voice, or alternatively play music throughout your entire house. It'll also have far-field microphones like the other Nest speakers, so it can pick up a whispered Google keyword from across the room. The new speaker can respond twice as fast as the Google Home, and can learn your most common commands over time for faster responses. Plus, adaptive volume lets it adjust its voice responses to the ambient noise in your room, and there's also the new Media EQ feature to adjust the equalization based on the kind of content that you're listening to. The Nest Audio is priced at $100 and goes on sale in 9 countries from October 5th. That's it for now. Hit the comments, let us know what you think of everything announced today. Stay tuned and subscribe for hands-on coverage of the new Pixel phones. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.